there to save. So having bits of happiness lets you know like it's still worth saving for these little happy moments.
One shrine in particular became a beloved fan favorite, showing up multiple times across YouTube and Reddit.
So, Karen, how was your day?
Well, Luke, it's been productive.
So the origin story of productive, one of our level designers made an amazing pun one day, and we decided to make a graffiti out of it and put it in the game, and it became like a duck shrine, and players started finding it and wondering where it came from.
We've been finding these rubber duckies all over the map. It says here on the wall in graffiti, productive, and there's a large rubber ducky, bigger than all the other ones we've found, and he's got bottles of booze all around him. Not only that, but he has a couple soldier duckies guarding a parrot in a cage. But there's more just like this in the Division 2.
What's really great about our
حياكم الله شباب. مؤتمر يوبيسوفت مع وكامي. سوايب اب وشوف المؤتمر بالكامل معنا.
We don't put them in easy to find places. So that means players are genuinely, hopefully enjoying just exploring the environment and finding all these little Easter eggs we've hidden around. And also not the Easter eggs, just the main part of the game and all the storytelling we put into it. I haven't found all of them. I don't know exactly how many there are, but they haven't found all of the ducks yet.
Encouraged by the community's response to the ducks, developers recently hid another secret in the game and made it the focal point of an all-new community challenge.
We actually put Tommy the Teddy Bear into the game. Well, Tommy the Teddy Bear is a trauma teddy mentioned in a lot of lore, but the bear itself actually was not in the game. With episode 3, we put a bunch of them into the world, actually opened up the Easter egg hunt for him specifically.
It's a nice little exciting moment when you kind of open Reddit and you see someone's found the thing that you kind of just snuck in under the radar and no one really knows about it. And some of the players are really clever. There's some hard Easter eggs that some of the level designers and gameplay designers have put in, and people have managed to solve it with no help whatsoever. Gamers are smart.
So now that you know, be on the lookout for both the ducks and teddy bears next time you boot up the Division 2. We now have our final indie guest, Thunder Lotus Games, who were the 2017 winner of the indie series that took place in Montreal. So let's find out more about the beautiful coziness of Spiritfarer in this next video.
Hey everybody, I'm Rodrigue, marketeer at Thunder Lotus. We're an indie studio based out of Montreal, Canada, and makers of the games Jotun, Sundered, and our new game Spiritfarer, which is due out later this year. For the past 6 years, we've tried to make AAA quality games with a hand-drawn indie heart. Hitting a quality standard consistently in game dev is a huge challenge. There's so much trial and error on the path, and during the Sundered production, we were lucky enough to have the Ubisoft Entrepreneurs program in our corner to help us reach our goals. As co-winners of the Ubisoft Indie Series in 2017, we received not only generous funding, but also crucial mentorship and access to the Ubisoft testing facilities. So we're grateful to Ubisoft for their support and helping us make what would become our biggest success to date. We've taken that experience with us onto what is our most ambitious production yet, and that's Spiritfarer, which we're calling a cozy management game about dying. In Spiritfarer, you play Stella, the newly appointed ferry master to the deceased. And as Stella, you're going to build a boat, you're going to explore the world in search of spirit passengers seeking passage to the afterlife. You're going to spend relaxing quality time with them, you're going to create lasting memories, but ultimately you're going to have to learn how to say goodbye to your cherished friends. It's a game that's near and dear to our hearts and something really special. We can't wait to share it with the world later this year. So look for it soon on PC, on Xbox One, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox Game Pass. Thanks a lot, and cheers.
It is time for an update on our favorite motorcycle platformer with the insanity, pain, and triumph we all know and we all love. Trials Rising came out last year, but I think the team from our Red Link studio in Helsinki has a little surprise coming to the game for the fans of the franchise. So let's take a look.
Swear you'll be the death of me!
Hi, we're here today to introduce you to an exciting new endurance challenge coming to Trials Rising. But to make sure that we respect social distancing guidelines, Auntie and I decided to...
Fire the goose now!
What? Fire the goose?
Fire! Okay!
Okay.
باقي
Ladies
10
and
دقايق
gentlemen,
شباب.
welcome back to the Gigatrack.
10 دقايق إن شاء الله يبدأ الحدث.
Far from a remake of the classic track from Trials Evolution, this is an all-new journey across the world of Trials Rising, in by far the longest track that we've ever put in a trial.
مساء النور هلا سبيسي هلا والله.
Yeah, I'm telling them that.
By far the longest track we've ever put in a Trials game. The Gigatrack will take you across many different environments, from the iconic...
Environment! Tell them about environment, please!
Yeah, I was just... Maybe you want to tell them.
The Gigatrack is like life. It starts and it ends and it's long. Depends how you enjoy it. And also one secret thing. 4 tells transfer to 1.
Prepare for the ultimate test of Trials endurance. Gigatrack releases this Thursday, July 16th
سبيسي
for the low
شنو
price
تتوقع؟
of...
راح تنزل ألعاب؟
You heard that right, riders. Gigatrack will be available for free to all Trials Rising players when it releases this Thursday.
You heard that right. The Gigatrack is coming to the game, and
شباب
it will be the
أي واحد
longest,
عنده
most
ابلكيشن
insane
يو
track
بلاي
in Trials history,
مال
and it will be
يوبيسوفت
free for
لازم
all
ينزله
Trials
الحين.
Rising players.
الحين تنزله
Now
ليش؟
for our last
لأن
game
إذا ما
update,
نزلته
the Ghost Recon Breakpoint
ما
team is
سويت
ready
ساين
to
ان
share some
ما راح
details
تاخذ
on
اللعبة.
their
عندك
upcoming
40
update.
minute 40
AI
دقيقة
teammates
بس
are coming to the
علشان
game.
تاخذ
Let's have a look at the trailer.
الباج مالتهم على البي سي. أهل البي سي حتى لو ما عندك بي سي نزل التليفون بالابلكيشن بالتليفون أو بالكمبيوتر ويمكن مستقبليا تلعب فيها. عرفت؟ دامها متوفرة ببلاش وخذها ببلاش. نحب البلاش.
They're gonna be a game changer. Available at any point after you have reached Erewhon for the first time, Fury, Fix-It, and Vasily can be activated or dismissed at will. And from the beginning, you will be able to fully customize them. This customization includes all of the physical attributes, as well as gear, equipment, or even full costumes. Your teammates can be tweaked just as much as your main character. Just like Nomad, your teammates will adapt and react to the world of Aroa and its environments, and they will always follow your own behavior. If you decide to go stealth, they will equip silencers and crouch, or go prone when possible. But if you decide to go loud and open fire, they will stick by your side.
Oh my God.
When deployed, you can issue different orders to your teammates through the order wheel. There are 4 different orders you can give to your teammates. You can tell them to regroup on your location, to hold their current position, to go to a specific location, and to open fire on nearby enemies. These orders can be given at any time, even through your binoculars and drone. Once they approach potential threats, the teammates will notify you and mark them automatically.
Got a hostile.
With a good look at your enemies, you will be able to set up a sync shot where each of your teammates picks a target. You can even link it to your 3 sync shot drones for a simultaneous 7-target takedown. The teammates have weapons equipped at all times, a versatile assault rifle to accommodate all situations, and a primary weapon that you will be able to fine-tune. Indeed, apart from mark upgrades and passive bonuses, the full gunsmith is accessible to your teammates, and their weapon of choice will have a direct effect on the battleground. Depending on the type of weapon they have equipped, the teammates will adapt their engagement distance and rate of fire, from close-distance shotgun wielding all the way to long-distance sniper shots. Of course, if you get taken down, your teammates' priority will be to try and rescue you. To achieve that, they will first focus their fire on the surrounding enemies before getting to you. And they will expect the same from you, especially as you will be able to carry them to safety if the situation requires it. Finally, the teammates will also be your best allies in any vehicle, especially on the road and during high-stake pursuits. The teammates will be available for all solo Ghost Recon Breakpoint players on July 15th, and we cannot wait to see your reactions. We'll see you on the battlefield, Ghosts.
Hey Ghosts, I'm Grace from the Ghost Recon team.
As you've just seen, the AI teammates are finally landing in Ghost Recon Breakpoint with our next major update on July 15th. Alongside the AI teammates, this update comes with a ton of new content, including a gunsmith upgrade, new PvP content, quality of life updates, and more. You will be able to try it all during our next free weekend from July 16th to July 20th. But that's not all. We've got one last thing to show you. Enjoy, and we'll see you on Aroa Ghosts.
اوكي جاهزين الترجمة؟ ما سمعت ما ركزت. بس في قالوا انك تقدر تستخدم شغلات فري ل 18 في جولاي.
We stand against Sentinel's illegal occupation of Aroa. We call on all of Aroa to join us. Separated, Sentinel wins. But united, we cannot be defeated.
هذه الألعاب أنا أتحمس. إيكم من زمان يوبيسوفت. إيكم. من أكثر المؤتمرات اللي كنت أحب أطالعها وانطرها E3 يوبيسوفت. شوف كيف.
And now our very final video for this pre-show is another episode of our wow moments comparing the craziest and coolest clips from you, our players.
Anyone else want to try to do better than that?
دقيقتين بس.
I was gonna interrogate him. Oh, you can interrogate this guy though. Oh, okay.
اوكي شباب اي واحد يما كمبيوتر ولا شيء خليه يشغل برنامج يو بلاي. اذا ما عندك برنامج يو بلاي نزل.
So there's a line that people want me to yell, but I can't usually do it because I'll freak out my neighbours. But as you can see, I'm at the Crash and Ocean Beach, and there's no one too close. So, reloading! Fuck, someone told me.
دقيقة. شباب باقي دقيقة على الحدث. سوايب اب وشوفوا ويانا. ها تشوفون؟ أقل من دقيقة. Oh my god حدنا متحمسين.
If you also have amazing gameplay segments you captured from our games, spread the joy and submit them on the link displayed on your screen right now. All right, guys, it is time for us to wrap up this pre-show.
Don't forget to stay tuned for our post-show featuring a deep dive into the world of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Thanks a lot for watching this pre-show and enjoy Ubisoft Forward.
Okay, 10 seconds. 10 seconds شباب يبدأ الحدث. 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 Here we go. بدينا بسم الله ونشوف الحدث ان شاء الله.
This is Ubisoft Forward.
Ubisoft Forward. Assassin's Creed.
Meet the devs. See the games.
See the games. أكيد بشوف الجيمز أنا.
Join us.
everyone, I'm Neelam Kumar, and I'm very excited to be co-hosting the first Ubisoft Forward with the talented Yusuf McGee. Today's show is all about getting up close and in-depth with all the exciting games we have in production here at Ubisoft.
I'm Yusuf, but there's no time to waste. So let's head straight for the streets of futuristic London and see what the hackers of DedSec are getting into.
The illegal paintings spreading subversive and hostile messaging over the last few weeks across London are not the work of several people as was originally believed, but the work of an individual. The criminal suspected to have links with the terrorist group DedSec.
Watch Dogs, Joe! Guy from gas station. شوف الدرونز أنا.
Authorities recommend not to approach the individual.
Welcome to the London.
First, they came for the
لندن
foreigners.
بالمستقبل.
I did not speak out because I was not a foreigner. Then they came for the protesters.
شباب الحين تقدرون تاخذون اللعبة لا تنسونها. سووا كلايم.
Because I was not a protester.
سووا كلايم حق اللعبة.
Then they came for the journalists.
اوه الماسك خطير. الماسك لازم اسوي لي واحد نفسه كاستم ميد حق وكامي لازم. Ubisoft, the crew at Ubisoft Forward.
They came for street artists, but I did not speak out because I am not a street artist.
واو شوف الدرون ايش كبرها هذه نفس مالت فيلم سبايدر مان اللي مالت الشرير سيارات. الحين هذا تريلر ولا قصة ولا انا العب كذي اوف بكدلي يا ساتر خطير. انا نسيت عبالي قاعد اشوف فيلم بداية فيلم.
واو. Come for me, and there would be no one left to speak for me.
Right, where are we off to, sir?
It's fine. I'll show you the way.
Okay, sorry, miss. Jesus! All right, so we're in a total mess now, so let's get the hell out of here.
And there's nothing more debilitating than that.
واو انتم مستوعبين اللي قاعد نشوفه قصة تريلر هذه الشخصية ما ادري ايه شريرة ولا لا. من يلعب واد دوغ؟
Well. Welcome to the resistance.
هلا.
There's a welcome gift for our new members.
But the disappearance of the criminal...
You could have told me it was a bloody costume party.
Try it on.
The new key suspect has been identified as David Ford, a 43-year-old London taxi driver. He has no criminal record, but is currently believed to be a terrorist. People have been asked not to approach him. The authorities advise all residents...
Reclaim your future. Wow.
I'm Clint Hawking.
Clint has been a long-time creative force here at Ubisoft, and now he's bringing this vision to Watch Dogs Legion.
So yeah, what we just saw was an amazing short film by the director Alberto Mielgo that was inspired by Watch Dogs Legion and looks at the game and the universe and the characters through his incredible artistic vision and visual style.
والقصة وشلون ستايل اللعبة.
Like the film, Watch Dogs Legion tells the story of ordinary heroes, setting aside their differences in order to come together as a collective and to fight for a positive change. You can literally recruit and play anyone who you see in the open world. You profile people that are interesting to you. You help them with their problem. You play their origin mission.
Just help me get some closure and I'll do whatever you want.
Sounds like a dead sick problem. Leave it to us.
And that's how you recruit them into your team. And then they become the heroes of the game and the stars of your story.
And what are you doing in my flat? You with Albion?
Please, think more underground.
You with Albion?
I'm tickled, but think more underground.
What, DedSec? Yeah, right, and I'm Che Guevara. You're done.
And they make the story not only, unique to them, but unique to you as the player and personal to you because they're, heroes that you've chosen and invested in. What would I say to fans? I guess I'd say, take care of yourselves, stay safe. Welcome to the Resistance.
Our London town. A modern metropolis.
I miss you, London, والله.
Built on history and prosperity. Only took 12,000
هذا أحلى شيء بالألعاب، تسافر وين ما تبي وأنت بمكانك. لا عاد ما نمشي. واو. أنتوا قاعد تشوفون الجرافيكس مال الجيم بلاي؟
Listen up. Get all your units to move in and lock down the city.
والله ماما مية. خطير.
With London under attack by a mysterious terrorist, the government turns to a private military company called Albion to keep everyone safe.
الكل قاعد يسوي ساين ان تراكس فصاير ضغط مو طبيعي. انا الحين مسوي ساين ان لكن مو عارفين الطريقه. اتوقع الحين راح يتكلمون باللايف شلون تاخذها تسوي لها كلايم اللعبه الوات دوغ 2. صعبه للاسف الناس كلها تبي تاخذ الكلايم حق اللعبه عشان شي ما حد قادر.
He will stop at nothing to permanently control the city.
London will be the first city in the world to be made truly safe.
Nigel's not the only opportunist who's taken a liking to this fair city. Meet Mary Kelly, head of the most powerful crime syndicate in London.
Be sure and spread the word.
She and her goons are using the dark web to sell everything from party pills to people.
This microchip is scary, I know, but I got to keep tracks on my merchandise, don't I?
You made me a slave.
You do not want to ruffle her feathers. With the city out on its arse, it now falls on you to build a resistance and take back London.
اوكي احنا مهمتنا ان ننقذ لندن من الاشرار.
Any of the brave Londoners you see walking the streets can be recruited into your team.
اوكي وايد شخصيات اخذهم معاي بالتيم.
Or even her.
حتى العجوز.
Everyone could become your next secret weapon.
احب الستايل الفانكي شعر الموهوك هذا يا اخي. جو الالعاب نادر ما نشوفه بالالعاب هذا.
Inside the Tower of London. All the hardy souls you see here are people we have recruited from the streets of London. They all have unique abilities, and you're free to tackle this mission with whoever you like.
Dear God, my eyes. Mikey! Zip up, get to work, and let's never talk about this again.
Like everyone in DedSec, Arthur can hack pretty much whatever. But as a construction worker, he has a particular set of tools that make him handy. He can even call his own cargo drone. Perfect for gate crashing when you're not invited. And who needs a regular gun when you have a bloody nail gun?
Come in, you soidoid shithole.
لا اي انا تعورت. هذه مالت المسامير. والله ما حد فكر فيها ياخذ السلاح يرمي فيه.
Perhaps we could approach this mission differently. If you'd rather keep your distance, we've got you covered. Amy is a drone expert.
كم شخصية؟ 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 شخصية.
Hate spiders, but love this one.
تقدر تتخفى.
What an adorable creature.
اللعبة فيها تتجنب العدو مو لازم تهجم عليه على طول. أي لعبة فيها تخفي معناته مو لازم تهجم. تستخدم الدرون. عندي نفس الماسك هذا. بس مو ملون.
She can also hack enemy drones, turning the tide in her favor.
يقول لك تقدر تهكر الدرون مالت الانمي الاعداء ويستخدمها. اوكي كل شخصيه لها مهامها وذكائها، يعني شخصيه المساع لها وايد بالتكنولوجيا فتلعب شغلات تكنولوجيا. شوف هذا التخفي، هذا الاساس مالهم من المشي.
Do anything suspicious and she'll probably wind up with a bullet in the back of her head.
يقول لك اي غلط تسويه وانت قاعد تمشي عادي تنذبح الشخصيه هذه.
I can get the defense minister on the line right now.
If you feel you must.
حياك تفضل حياك. Oh my God! ذبحها على طول. مسكينة الشرطية طنت العافية.
Illegals threatening our families. The police commissioner himself assassinated by terrorists.
Well, that seems to be enough evidence. Next up, we're crashing Mary Kelly's organ farming operation and putting a stop to it.
That's good. The buyers expect high quality stuff.
And we need a hard nut for this.
Impairing our frontal lobe again, are we?
Bags, don't disturb me in my natural habitat.
Say hello to Mickey. The man lives for his team.
Putting up wear on my chest.
And doesn't mind getting his hands dirty.
هذا البايعة مالهم مال التيم. الطق يونس.
He does have a slight drinking problem though.
قلت لكم عنده مشاكل.
And he's passed out. We'll come back to him. You know what? Let's go with someone a bit more professional.
هذا الأساسا يا ويلهم.
It's almost crass to call him a hitman.
هذا جون ويك. انا اشوف جون ويك.
Some might even call him an artist.
بابا وياي هذا. اي والله ارتست.
Here's the bastard responsible.
هلا والله. هلا
Done and dusted.
ما ادري قلت الاسم صح ولا لا.
Not everyone in London is a legendary assassin or a super.
هذا ترى الاحداث كلها بلندن.
Everyone can be a
كل شيء اللي
hero.
قاعد تشوفونه بلندن يعني. شيء وايد حلو.
So get out there, find the best
الله
recruits,
الانتيك
and build your resistance.
راح العبها.
It's time to take back London.
It's time to take back. We order now. اوف راح تنزل 29 اكتوبر يعني بعد شهرين ونص يمكن.
Teaming with unique locales and characters has always been a central pillar of the Watch Dogs series.
So what goes into building those worlds? Here's Amanda Munt to tell us more.
راح العب Watch Dogs 2.
My name's Amanda Munt. I'm a level artist on Watch Dogs Legion at Ubisoft Toronto. Being a level artist, I think, is the coolest job in video games because we do get the freedom to kind of like pick and choose what little details we want to depict, and we get ample opportunities to tell the stories that we want to tell in the spaces that we're assigned to. I have the capacity to hide things and, you know, like small little Easter eggs. In AC Unity, there was a boat somewhere in the world that was covered in cats. And then it happened again in Watch Dogs 2, and there may or may not be something in London that is a boat filled with cats in some capacity. So. I was fortunate enough to go to E3 last year. Some of the people that I was showing our demo to were from London. So no matter where I dropped them in the city, they'd go, "Oh my God, this feels like Camden. This feels like Suffolk. This feels like Westminster." When people are talking about some detail that I've put into the world and they're excited about it, like that feels so good as somebody who, builds these worlds with care. I love it.
راح ناكل بس الماسك هذا ترى على شعاره كامي ها. Special order, baby.
And now some news for Brawlhalla fans. In just a few weeks, you'll be able to battle it out with your favorite legends on iOS and Android devices.
هلا والله كنت ببث أجنبي جيت عندك يا هلا مرحبا نورت يا بعد قلبي. دايما ندعم ربعنا العرب احنا.
3 2 1
أوه شنو هاللعبة طافتني ما قريتها. RGB اوكي اونلاين لعبة اونلاين وناسة ضحك. احسها راح تنزل على نينتندو سويتش كروس بلاي. هذا اول شيء كروس بلاي يعني بي سي بلاي ستيشن اكس بوكس وزيادة سويتش. 50 ليجند اند كونتينج 50 شخصية فوق يعني كل مرة ينزل. اوكي ريجستر ناو. اوكي هذه بالبلاي مالهم.
And now, whether you need a Tom Clancy action fix on the go or want to dive back into one of the most beloved fantasy franchises in gaming, we've got you covered.
نشوف اللعبة هذه. في صوت اسمع. ما قاعد اسمع صوت غريب. تسمعون صوتي غير صوت اللعبة؟ يقول لك أكثر من 30 مليون شخص لعب، أكثر من 100 بليون قتال صار. هذا كله بيوبيسوفت. اتس كيم سوبر فان جريت فان سكوت. كلهم ألعاب يوبيسوفت. زين ليش ما حطيتوا تعليقي؟ ها؟ هذا على التليفون. area of choice.
The target is being held on the ground floor.
كلها نار اللعبة. هنا قاعد يتكلم روسي كان. What? الأمكي.
Contact! Montaigne is down. Request air support. Target northeast rooftop.
Roger. Inbound. Danger close.
I need an EMP deployed now.
EMP imminent.
كنا بچاينا. الجرافيكس الصين. غريبة اللعبة الحين ما فهمتها. اوه قاعد تشوفوني قاعد اشوفه؟ واو.
Hey, take this.
Don't make me regret this.
Elite Squad coming soon. Pre-register. واو. هذه اللعبة صح. هذه كذا راح تنزل على PlayStation 5.
Speaking of Tom Clancy, it's been 5 years since Rainbow Six Siege first launched, and the community has never been stronger. In celebration of this milestone, Ubisoft Montreal has put together a special video to thank all of the amazing players and developers that have helped Siege become the game it is today.
In December 2015, a small team released Rainbow Six Siege.
هذا أول تيم لعب رينبو 6.
creativity, competitiveness, and team play.
Pour le joueur, le 1er décembre, c'est un début, mais pour nous aussi. Il faut tout de suite s'engager et dire aux joueurs, ce jeu est installé, tu peux t'y installer aussi, et nous serons là.
That original vision was quickly adopted by our passionate community, propelling it to a whole new level.
I got it!
This is such a special moment, and being at 1 year anniversary of Rainbow Six now, game being stronger than ever, more players today than we had in the past, it means the world to us.
But we also had our share of challenges.
Health that touches upon subjects like matchmaking, connectivity, all those aspects are absolutely critical to the experience of the
قدر يسوي ساين ان بيو بلاي. في احد واجه المشكله هذه بالساين ان؟ ولا لا؟ لان انا شي كان قاعد يعلق.
And together we grow stronger.
There is no sequel plan, and we're here for the next 10 years, so expect more Rainbow Six in your life for quite some time.
Look at this.
Tous les succès, c'est vraiment le résultat de autant de nous que de vous. Ce jeu, il est autant le vôtre qu'il est le nôtre, nous, l'équipe de développement.
Now 60 million players strong, we're just getting started.
اتوقع راح تنزل بروحها على طول اللعبة.
From the devs that build the game to the community that plays it, thank you.
العفو. شنو أكثر شيء متحمسين له شباب حق أي لعبة؟ نبي أكثر لعبة متحمسين لها.
Dive into our new Operation Steel Wave update available now and take Ace and Malusi out for a spin.
A few days ago, we introduced y'all to a brand new multiplayer shooter. Now, it's time to venture into the hyperscape.
Was that? A hack in the hyperscape. That's not supposed to be there.
صح.
Let me get you all
هذه
to
الألعاب اللي
speed, okay?
ناطرينها احنا.
About 30 years ago, everything that we feared about our future started to come true. We made some good decisions. We made some bad decisions. Actually, we made a lot of bad decisions.
بعد سنتين إن شاء الله راح نروح مصر.
So here we are. 10 billion souls living in the crush of the megacities. But the people at Prisma changed everything. They gave everyone a way out. The hyperscape. In the hyperscape, the biggest draw by far is Crown Rush. This is where anyone can become someone.
هذا الباتل رويال الناري.
If you get good at Crown Rush, it can change your life. But strange things have been happening lately.
شنو اللي صار؟
Rumors of people getting hurt. Users disappearing from the real world. A darker secret lies at the heart of Hyperscape. And we have to find it. Some of us are searching for a way up. Some of us for a way out. And for others, a new way altogether. That's what brings us to the edge of the future. To the Hyperscape.
I'm JC, creative
جهز
director on
نفسكم شباب
Hyperscape.
خلينا ننزلها راح نلعب.
JC's work on Far Cry Primal
ترى
and
قبل بس
multiple
الجاي
Prince
حق
of Persia
كامي
titles has
Hyperscape.
established him as a top creative here at Ubisoft.
For me, what's exciting is we started building it from scratch. Seeing it grow, adding ideas is really cool.
Hello, contender. Welcome to the Hyperscape.
The game takes place in 2054. It's in a future where humanity has grown a little darker. One of the companies there, they are launching what's called
والله
the
اتمنى لو
Hyperscape, which is the
يحطون
virtual
فيها
world, the internet of the
طور
future. It's a
الفايف
place where everything converges.
هذا بس 5 او 6
Within the virtual world,
نظام
there
توارات
is a
كذا
battle royale
وايد
that
لايق
takes
عليها.
place in the virtual city
حسيت
of
شي
Neo
مقاربة
Arcadia.
حق لعبة اوفر واتش. يعني هذا الجيم مو بس لازم يكون باتل رويال، لازم يكون جيم ثاني.
A lot of new things. You get the opportunity
اتمنى
to
يحطون الابديت هذا وتكون 5.5 بمكان نفس هذا. شوفوا الجرافيكس وايد
You get to go to the landmarks where there's more opportunities to get cool items.
يعني الفاست جيمز لازم تكون موجودة بكل الالعاب. يعني في ناس ودهم يلعبون جيم يطول نص ساعة، في ناس ودهم يلعبون جيم يطول 5 دقائق.
Special abilities that you can pick up on the fly to adapt your tactics. With hacks you can do things like teleport yourself.
لازم يكون فيها
You can
جيمات.
wrap yourself into a ball and bounce around the battlefield.
جيمز مثل تيم ديث ماتش والسوالف.
Let you have fun, that are toys that you can play with. And finally, it's made as a spectacle, so all the viewers will be able to interact with the game on different levels through the Twitch extension. So every few minutes there's going to be a vote and viewers will be able to decide what effect they want to affect the whole battle. So things like changing the gravity, infinite ammo,
السلاح يكون صفر قوته، يعني عادية ما في نظام رير كومن اكزوتيك او ان ليجندري الالوان الاخضر ازرق اصفر جولد. هذه تاخذ سلاح زين، تاخذ سلاح بالارض وتلفله، يعني مثلا تاخذ سلاح ليفل 1 تاخذه 5 مرات، مرة ثانية يصير ماكس ليفل، كذي تمكس فيها اللعبة. بس شيء خطير يعني اللعبة، ما الأمانة ما لعبتها لكن شفت ريفيوز وبثوث تسوى اللعبة، فأعتقد راح أنزلها اليوم عشان ألعبها.
Showtime.
Mine. Let's show them what I'm made of. Go time.
وفيها نظام القياس وفي شخصية غير وتليبورت، مو بس سالفة أسلحة. بين هذا سريع.
Here we go. この調子
نيو بنيو هاكس مجانية. يلا شنطني، هذه لعبة مجانا موجودة.
The digital world of the Hyperscape gave our artists and developers incredible freedom when it came to designing characters.
Production manager Anna Maria Muska is going to take us behind the scenes of character design.
My name is Anna Maria Muska. I'm the production manager for characters and weapons on Hyperscape. We have paid an exceptional amount of detail to our characters. We switch different outfits, different fashion statements, different tattoos, different materials until we see them as real individuals, as real people. So the second you pick a character, you see them in game, you understand what their motivations are and what drives them and what challenges them. This was the first lineup of characters. This is our default base, but
هذا أول ديزاين سواه حق الشخصيات.
Everything has been meticulously thought of. Would this person actually like this
هذه
type
هي
of outfit?
نفسها.
Would this person enjoy the type of tattoos that we're putting on them? Will they actually like to be in this body? Each season, we plan to produce new outfits for these characters. So we're hoping some of our players are gonna see the effort and maybe even correlate some of the accessories to what's gonna happen in the game.
صراحة مبين وايد متعوب عليها مو شوي.
Very excited to see it in people's hands.
Hyperscape حتى اسمها خرافي.
As we move into the next generation of gaming, Ubisoft has been working closely with console makers to take advantage of all the extraordinary capabilities these new consoles will offer.
Now we have a special guest to tell us a little more.
Hey everyone, Phil Spencer from Xbox.
Oh, Phil Spencer.
With Watch Dogs Legion, Ubisoft is supporting smart delivery. So you will get the absolute best version of the game on any version of Xbox you're playing on. On Series X, you'll get to take advantage of the amazing work the team has done with DirectX ray tracing to create an absolutely immersive version of London like you've never seen before. Ubisoft has a unique ability to create immersive worlds, setting a new bar that continues to drive our industry forward. I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. I love the time I've spent exploring the world in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I can't wait for you to see the gameplay from Assassin's Creed Valhalla that's coming up now.
اوف الحين بيعرضون اساسن كريد.
We know you've been waiting to hear more about this game since it was announced back in April. And now it's time for a deep dive into the world of Vikings.
My name is Julien Laferrière and I'm the producer of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So a couple of weeks ago we announced Assassin's Creed Valhalla and the reaction from the fans was just amazing. The time period of Vikings is really inspiring. When we did our research, we found that, they were not mindless barbarians. Vikings were actually farmers trying to find new lands for them to settle. And so they had really human motivations. So for us to have this opportunity to tell kind of the real story about Vikings and kind of separate ourselves from the myths and the folklore is really something that drove us to make this game. The team went to Norway and England to take the same roads that the Vikings did, to really experience what it meant to be a Viking at that time. And then leaving Norway, which is barren but majestic, and just coming by boat in England and see those rolling green hills full of sheep, full of life, is just this moment that most likely the Vikings felt as well. You need to see this land of opportunity. And this is exactly the feeling we want players to experience in this game. It is a personal adventure, it is the story of Eivor, a Viking chieftain. Eivor is either a male or a female. You decide when you start the game. They will have to leave Norway to settle in England because you just can't live in Norway anymore. There's too much political pressure, no resources available.
أنا مو مصدق اللي قاعد أشوفه قاعد تشوفونه.
Obviously, in England, it's full of Anglo-Saxons and other people, and they don't really want you there. So you will have to fight your way there to kind of build your own settlement and see your clan prosper.
سجلوا عندكم Game of the Year. Assassin's Creed.
Vikings were brutal warriors.
Shields!
And the fact that they were mastering a lot of weapons coming from the medieval times really inspired us to kind of revamp the fight system, to leverage the brutality and the intensity of Viking combat. Vikings were not only fighting face-to-face, they were masters of stealth and deception when needed. They used basically any sort of tactics they could use to win the battle. So we want to portray the full range of combat that you can imagine coming from the Vikings.
Mamma mia! Woo! Oh my God! شنو هذا؟ ماما مية!
Happy to finally be able to show you the game we've all been working on. So please enjoy this deep dive into Assassin's Creed.
والله أنت thank you. غير مكان السكرين عشان يبين.
In Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
مستعدين؟
we'll relive the epic
اللي راح تشوفونه الحين
saga of the
مستعدين؟
Viking invasion of England. You play as Eivor, a Viking from Norway, who will lead his or her battle-hardened warriors across the North Sea to the British Isles. Eivor is driven by an ambitious goal: to build a thriving Norse settlement in a hostile land.
For the good of our clan, it is time we go a Viking. Today we raid,
that tomorrow we may build.
England is a dark age tangle of broken kingdoms and warring dynasties, a land of opportunity and riches. As you prowl England's rivers by longship, you may raid locations you spot from the shoreline. Ground your ship and blow your horn to lead your raiding crew into battle.
Oh my god! Oh my god! اوف اقدر اشوف نار باي مكان. ايه.
Your crew will assist you in all your raids, fighting enemies, battering down doors, and stealing cargo too heavy for one set of arms. Whatever riches and resources you pillage may be used to develop your settlement, giving you access to useful services, better tools, and new settlers. At the heart of your settlement is the Alliance map. It will serve as a record of the allies you have made, and a guide for future opportunities. The Viking Age was a time of warriors and legends. In Valhalla, you will find the largest variety of enemies ever assembled in an Assassin's Creed game. Every archetype offers a unique challenge. Some will coordinate with their allies for special attacks, while others will use nearby objects to their advantage, including the bodies of fallen warriors. To face these attacks, you must find and exploit your opponent's weaknesses to gain the upper hand. Take the fight to your foes with a host of brutal new combat abilities. Snare them with the Viking harpoon. Pummel them with throwing axes. Incapacitate them with the new stun system to keep them at a distance, or finish them off. Dual wield any two weapons you wish to unleash a deadly combination of attacks. Customize your fighting style as you see fit, and become a legendary Viking warrior.
أسلحة خطيرة. جميع أنواع الفؤوس موجودة. يعني تقطع عليه باكر. شوف.
All combinations of weapons are available to dual wield, including 2 shields.
Legendary. والله legendary.
Not all situations call for violence. In this new land, a Viking must find a way to adapt. As Eivor is not welcome in England, you may need to outsmart your enemies, avoiding unwanted attention in towns and bustling cities. Use Eivor's hood and cloak to blend with crowds, and slip past watchful eyes, an unseen hunter among the people. From capital cities and villages to the dense forests and rolling hills of England, exploration is vital to keeping yourself sharp. You must feed off the land if you hope to endure. Hunt and forage to replenish your health and fortify your equipment. Search pagan temples and Roman ruins for new activities and challenges to strengthen yourself and your settlement. The more you explore, the more of England's secrets you will reveal.
Ravens, show no mercy!
But as you push deeper into England, the enemy will push back.
واو شلون يصعد دري وهو قاعد يركض.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will feature massive assaults in which you will lead Eivor's army into battle against heavily guarded Saxon fortresses.
Today we will reclaim her. Today we fight for your land. And tomorrow we rebuild.
For East Anglia.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will transport you to wondrous and haunted lands, inspired by Norse myths and England's pagan roots. It will challenge and surprise, with unforgettable characters, thrilling triumphs, and tragic losses, giving you the chance to live your own Viking saga.
واو شوف قاعد يقطع الأعضاء. نار نار نار. تاريخ available 17 of November 17 نوفمبر راح تنزل 3 شهور وتنزل اللعبة. أبيكم كلكم تلعبونها.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will release this holiday season on Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Stadia.
We're close to wrapping up today, but before we go, our CEO, Yves Guillemot, is here to share a few words.
تعال CEO. هلا والله.
I hope you will have enjoyed what you have seen today and that you will love playing these games. I'm proud of our teams for delivering an ambitious, broad and creative lineup of games. And we haven't shown you everything yet. In fact, we have a lot more to come. So you will have another Ubisoft Forward to reveal even more about our upcoming games. But before ending this show, we have one more thing to share with you.
شنو بيورينا المفاجأة الكبرى؟ اوف هذا عين تمساح. كراكو! كراكو! شنو هذا؟ كلاش. هذا فيلم ولا شنو؟ واو. سيارة. اوكي بس عرفت انه راح يطلع الحين. Say my name. Breaking Bad. بس الحين راح يطلع. وين السيجار؟ بس بريكنج باد. أسلحة، سيجارة، مسح سلاسل. أتوقع بتكون في لعبة براند أوف بوسيا جديدة. هذه اللعبة الجديدة. واضح 100%. ومن البطل فيها؟ ماما مية شنو هذا؟ قاعد تشوفون اللي قاعد اشوفه؟ واو فار كراي 6 والله كنت حاسس انها راح تكون موجودة. بس وين السيجار؟ وينه؟ صاحب السيجار. هذا لعبة ولا فيلم؟ جت لي قشعريرة.
Perfect, but useless.
Go!
I have something for you, Diego. Give me your hands.
Papa.
Now, the grenade is simple.
حطه على بابا بسرعة.
It has 4 basic parts.
بابا.
The shell, which contains the explosive, the fuse, the
علمها شلون القنبلة.
and of course, the pin.
What are you doing?
Diego. Breathe. The pin simply holds the handle in place. It is only when you let go that this grenade goes boom.
شنو اللعبة المجنونة؟
Follow me. Now.
واو هذا تمثال عليه.
Which means that someday you will be El President. And our people, they do not know how to be happy.
Oh my God.
They're torn apart by opinions, noise, indecision, strangled by their own freedoms. And even if you have love in your heart, even if you want what's best for them, if you only want to save them from themselves.
فخامة فخامة.
Everything you say, do, believe will be wrong.
حتى هو مسوي انقلاب عليه. قهوة قهوة. ماما مية شوف ثغى. أسطورة الأسطورة.
A monster. And give you this. So you tell me, are you evil?
أنا قاعد أشوف شيء خطير
Are you a monster?
الجزء السادس غريبة.
Because our country is like this grenade, except it has two basic parts.
قاعد يعلمهم كل اللي قاعد يصير عشان تستخدم الجرينيد.
And you must clutch them nice and tight, or we all go boom.
واو صدمة صدمة. قاعد اشوف فيلم. لا لا ما راح تدعم صدقوني ما راح تدعم. 2021 جينا الطريق 2021 18/2/2021. Oh my god. Oh my god.
And with that, we're wrapping up our first Ubisoft Forward. Today, we've seen the next generation of Assassin's Creed, the birth of a resistance in Watch Dogs Legion, the cyber chaos of
اللي معانا على
Hyperscape,
اليوتيوب لا تنسون تسوون
and the
لنا
epic
لايك
reveal of Far Cry's newest installment,
وشير حق
along with so
فيديوهاتنا.
much
هذا
more.
اول بث رياكشن حق مؤتمر
later this
يوبيسوفت.
year with
ان شاء الله
another
يكون
Ubisoft
عجبكم
Forward
شباب.
filled with tons of game news and updates.
واللي ما سوى ساين ان
Thanks for
لازم
joining
يسوي
us.
ساين ان عشان تنزل له اللعبه واج دوجز 2 مجانا. هذا جيم بلاي حق اساسن كريد. انا ماني قادر تكفى ردوني حق فار كراي 6. ابي اشوف بعد ابي اشوف بعد ما يصير. اعطيتونا 3 دقائق بس من 40 دقيقة. نبي 10 دقائق نبي 20 دقيقة نبي مؤتمر خاص حق بس فار كراي 6. ضروري ضروري نبي مؤتمر جديد بس حق فار كراي 6. القصة غريبة مو فاهمين ليش مسوين عليه انقلاب. ليش منو هذه بنت شنو قصتها. هو الرئيس شخصية شريرة هو الزين.
So here we're midway through the quest
ما
that
في
we're
معلومات.
showing for you
الفيديو
before.
تشويقي نار.
Here we're looking
نار.
at the assault of Berg Castle. So these are big moments that usually sort of culminate at the end of the story. And so here Avar, or Viking Raider, is taking a group of raiders and Fyrds into Berg Castle to go and take down Rued and his clan.
So who exactly is Rued, and why does Eivor sort of want to pick a fight with him?
Basically, Rued comes into play about halfway through this story arc, where at the beginning of the arc, this is something that happens before, Rued basically caused a lot of turmoil within the territory, and Oswald, who's the sort of elderman to inherit this territory, needs your help to take him down. Oswald having just been defeated in a previous quest, and so here this is revenge, but also accomplishing your ultimate goal.
So Fizz, as you're talking, we're seeing some of the combat of Valhalla. Can you tell us a little bit about the changes to combat this time around?
We wanted to basically add a lot of new mechanics to it. So we added like some dual wielding for the player, like a stun system in there. And we really needed to do this to sort of portray that sort of the brutality that comes with being a Viking in this day and age. So it sort of fits into that, the time and the character.
طق يخرع. الساوند تراك تخرع اكثر. المفروض الكل يلبس سماعه ويعيش الجو اللي انا عايشه لانه شيء مو طبيعي.
Eivor, is that you? Shut your ass, twig spine.
Here, Eivor has taken her entire army through the assault, and finally, it's revealed that our Elderman, our ally, Oswald, is still alive, and Rued has him captive.
So this is what it comes to, Wolfkist? 2 Danes fighting over a filthy Saxon whoreson? This swine is your prize. Come and get him.
So now that we've seen that Oswald is alive, we have Rued within our sights. What's the next step here?
So the next move for Eivor is to finally face off against Rued. She has her allies. They can take care of the rest of the army. Now it's time to go one-on-one against Rued in one of our boss battles, actually.
Your battle is not yet won, Oswald.
And it's worth pointing out, actually, that here what we're showing is the player going and facing off against Rued aggressively, but we tend to always have to support a 360-degree approach in these things. So the player could have approached this a little bit more stealthily and gotten at least like a good critical hit on either Rued or his wolf, and so you can play this a little bit more strategically if that's your playstyle.
So we're not only fighting Rued here, but also his pet wolf, right?
One of my preferred strategies is to eliminate the wolf first, just focus fire on him. It takes at least one opponent out of the combat. Now Rued will have extra abilities that come into play if you do eliminate his wolf, but I think having one opponent less in the battlefield makes for a good strategy in the whole.
Your efforts. Only the cold dark of Niflheim awaits you.
Valhalla is my destiny. That fate will not be met today. Riders, they should be roomed, Wolf-kissed. Made thralls, not treated as equals. We are better than this. Than all of them.
Do not drag me down to the sewage you wallow in.
We just a Dane fight tooth and nail for a Saxon. You'd throw in with these wastrels? These arrogant swine?
Eivor, no! He should be tried before God, a lawful assembly.
Alright, so we've defeated Rued, we freed Oswald. What comes next?
Oswald, in this case, prefers for Rued to be kept alive, and so you basically have to choose, are you going to go against his wishes or stay true to your nature?
So we have this choice to make, but before we get into that, I want to rewind a little bit because we just did this big grand assault, but Eivor couldn't have done it alone. She clearly had to recruit some folks along the way, get some troops, get some allies. So let's actually rewind and see how we went about first gathering those troops.
Right, so when coming up to an assault, it's a game of numbers. Eivor can go into pretty much any location and be a stealthy Viking, eliminating some of the assets, which ultimately would be a strategy. You can do that, and you'll have some of the ingredients or of the assets there that will have been sabotaged, but you still need an army. So here what we're seeing is Eivor going around the countryside and raising what we call a fyrd, which is the men and the women of the territory who come up and fight in the name of a king. So here Eivor is going around and trying to convince people to fight in the name of Oswald to finally take down the oppressor that is Rued.
Defending East Anglia, defending you. Will you not do the same?
What? Die in defense of a lost cause?
Yeah, so she's really using like the image and like the leadership that Oswald had, what he meant to the people in his name. She's going to recruit these people.
Pretty words, Dane. But the men of Theovard have their own battles to fight.
So we're told by this Reeve that there are troops, there are allies that he could add to our cause, but first we sort of need to do him a favor, is that right?
Yeah, so obviously these people have been run down by Rued and the impact he's had on the territory, so I think a lot of these people have sort of lost hope. And so you need to show them that there is hope. And so here Eivor is basically helping them take back one of their prized locations by taking a couple men and raiding a nearby township, basically taking it back for the people and showing that there's a reason to continue fighting and then get them on your side. when Eivor does this, obviously you have access to a full suite of abilities. So again, the improvements that we've done to the fight system. You have some axe throwing in there. You have archery or like range combat abilities in there as well. So really, again, like depending on what your playstyle is, you can customize your loadout and go in there how you wish.
الكل يبي يشوف المؤتمر نفس الوقت يبي يعرف عن اساسن كريد يبون يعرفون شنو الالعاب الجديده بتنزل. والصدمه كانت ان فار كراي 6 هي
So that is actually this is what we call the Odin sight. The Odin sight is basically our interpretation of the eagle vision from previous games. We thought it was good to sort of bring that back. It's basically Eivor's intuition. It's how she perceives the world. When player uses that, you can it'll highlight basically interactive objects like things that will bring her an advantage. So we'll have arrows, like health consumables that are in there. So it really is like a good way of sort of understanding the world and showing you things that you can go and touch.
بس خلاص اللعبة راح تنزل حق الكل مجانا.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of things we can touch, we just picked up this awesome new weapon.
It's something we wanted to play with on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where we have fewer weapons in the game, but you can invest in them more, so they become your weapon. And so depending on what your preferred playstyle is or your preferred weapon type, then you can go and choose, I'm gonna fight with this weapon and invest heavily into that.
Not only are we looting weapons, but we see something here called the Book of Knowledge. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
They unlock skills for the players. So here you can see the Valkyrie dive that has just been unlocked. We have these spread out throughout the world, so again to promote exploration and discovery. As you travel through the world and you explore locations, you can find these books that will add abilities that you can go and invest in, put into your loadout, then go into the different locations or the different quests in the game and use those depending on what your playstyle is.
Now we've recaptured this village, we've secured more troops for our assault. Let's jump back now and figure out what we want to do.
كروتو فري ترايل على البي سي.
The rightful king of East Anglia has spared your life today, and so it will be.
اللعبة add to my game. تقدرون تلعبون ذا كروتو من اليوم لتاريخ 29 على البي سي مجانا.
Eivor decided to let him live. Ruud is really angry about that. Being a Norse Viking, being put to the death in battle is your road to Valhalla. So he was basically denied access to Valhalla in this situation. Obviously, all of these decisions come into play later on in the game, so we have very difficult decisions for the player to make. We didn't want to have easy decisions.
Yeah, you know, when I was playing, I decided to listen to Oswald and spare Ruud's life, but what exactly is the relationship like between Eivor and Oswald?
So the relationship between Eivor and Oswald is an alliance. It's basically Eivor is surrounded by territories that initially getting into England are hostile towards her, and obviously if you want to set up a new settlement, you want to make sure that your neighbor is friendly. So here in East Anglia, Oswald is the man for the job, where putting him into a position of power would help her sort of secure her territory. So earlier on to the territory, Eivor comes in here, meets Oswald. The problems he had with Ruud are sort of put to light, and going through the arc, you basically help him deal with Ruud and aligning basically Danes with Saxons in one territory.
So, Fizz, we've completed the assault. We've gotten our hands dirty with some combat, taken down Ruud. We have this big open region of East Anglia, so before we head off to Oswald's wedding, what do you say we head out, have some fun, and see what we can get into in the open world?
That sounds great.
So we see a cat here with a speech bubble above it, and you best believe if you let me talk to a cat, I'm gonna talk to a cat.
Yeah, these are some of our some of my favorite moments actually in the game, where we put out a whole bunch of events throughout the territory. And it sort of rewards, again, exploration, going around. It's a chance for us also to sort of showcase a different side of Eivor. A lot of the quests sort of deal more with like politics and warfare, and this shows a slightly more human nature to her. So it permits us to explore that character a little bit more. And so here, basically, like you're trying to help a kid with his cat, and ultimately get that cat to sort of join your crew as a cat raider.
You just said cat raider way too casually. You're telling me I could have a cat Viking raider on my longship?
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Oh my god, yes, I love it. Perfect.
So yeah, as you're riding around the rivers of England, you would see a cat basically walking around your longship, keeping your Viking raiders company.
You know, speaking of the Viking longship, we're seeing some of that gameplay here now. Can you talk a little bit about how that works and functions in Valhalla?
Yeah, so starting out on this project, I think the Viking longship is one of the biggest images that we all have when we think about Vikings in our game. And so Vikings had this awesome design for longship that had a very shallow hull, so it permitted them to go very far inland very quickly, and you could basically disembark Viking raiders like on pretty much any shore. We added that into the game where you can basically sail up to any location and then just decide to disembark with your guys and raid a location, loot all its treasure, get back in the ship, and then continue sailing down the river to your next opportunity.
So I know past Assassin's Creed games allowed for songs and things like that to be sung on ships. Will Valhalla have a similar version of that?
Yeah, so this is something we actually wanted the crew of your ship to become like your home away from home. So we added stories and songs into the ship. So basically, as the player is going around, you can decide to have your skull sort of sing a song for you as you row down the river. But you can also decide, depending on who the raiders are in your ship, to hear more about their life. So you can actually queue up stories, and they'll give you a little bit more background on who they are. So you get to know your sort of fighters as you're traveling around the world, which is a cool moment.
So here we're seeing a bit of a different view. What exactly are we looking at?
We had this on previous Assassins where you would like ride on your horse and you could pull out, have the horse sort of follow the track. We have a similar thing for the ship where you can put up your sails. It's cruise control for the ship, so you can pull back, take in the scenery, listen to some songs or some stories, and just take it all in.
So, you know, speaking of Viking songs, we have an activity here that's not exactly singing, but kind of related, right?
Yeah, so here what we have is what we call flighting, which was an activity that Norse people would partake in. They would like to have a battle of wits and sort of poetry where insults would be thrown back and forth between each other. The idea was to try and have a good insult, but also to have a good rhythm and a good rhyme in there. So it's basically a precursor to rap battles.
Here's the silver. Now begin.
To all those whom I speak, they say Eivor's a clod.
Then you're speaking to fools and their knowledge is flawed.
Well.
How exactly do you go about being successful in one of these?
The trick behind a good flight was to choose the right insult, identifying the right cadence, and then trying to find what rhymed the best.
I'm known for my might.
Interesting. Silent whispers all claim that you're terribly dense.
Does not represent the final game. يعني للحين اللعبة بالتطوير ما خلصت، يعني من ناحية الجرافيكس والحوار كل هذا ممكن انه يوصل لدرجة يكون افضل من الحين اللي قاعد نشوفه.
Well, what a surprise! Eivor of the Raven clan is a true talent. I'm shocked.
Don't believe everything you hear, unless it touches on my flighting. Then heed every word.
Take the coin.
So now that we've proven our sharp tongue and wit, I think it's time for a bit more relaxing activity. So we're fishing here.
Yeah, that's it. So we gave Eivor a fishing line, so you can actually throw out a line and go catch some fish. This is used basically to play into our new health loop where the player will lose health in the world, and it doesn't automatically regenerate like we would have in the past. So you actually have to go out and get some supplies. So you'll find mushrooms and some food that you can gather. But here, like you can also catch some fish and consume that to regain some health. We also will sometimes have it in certain quests. So it's a good way to sort of chill out on the side of the water and just again take it all in. So this is what we call one of our offering altars. So the idea is that you find these around the world and you make offerings to it. So it'll take like animal parts and stuff that you can find throughout the world. Here what you're seeing though is sort of like a fancy version of it, where as you do your offering you get interrupted by some kids that basically come and steal your stuff. So it's just a way for us to sort of showcase that like the systems and the activities in the world can sort of play in with some quests and some little events. So it's our way to sort of dress up these moments and make it all fit inside the whole experience.
Yeah, this seemed like a really sort of unexpected turn for what I thought was going to be kind of a simple interaction.
Yeah, and it's really what we were trying to do with these events is to give another dimension to Eivor, other than just, the pure rar Viking or the politician. Because you can imagine at some point that will grow old if you're always telling that version of the character. So it lets us really go into the depth of who is Eivor, what motivates her, how she can interact with the world outside of warfare and politics.
Your stealth needs work. We were close.
And it also showcases like a different facet of the world at the same time. It's not only Eivor, so it just widens the breadth of the stories that we can tell.
So who exactly are these two children?
These are kids of East Anglia. They are going through tough times with whatever Rued's been doing to the territory, and so they're just here trying to survive and basically exploit the people that are there to make offerings.
It was kind of nice to see that Eivor wasn't really necessarily upset at them for stealing, and after you talk to them, you have the choice of helping them. You can give them food, give them some money, or maybe just say, hey, good luck, on your way.
Yeah, and then this is something we also wanted to do a lot. Like, so here we're doing an event, we do an quest as well, but we want to give a lot of this agency into players' hands so that they can sort of shape Eivor a little bit, who she is, so it represents them a little bit more, and they can roleplay that a little bit better. And again, it just gives her like a little bit more humanity in these moments.
This is what large walkers should do. Provide for small walkers.
Here, large walker.
A necklace?
Yes, it's a St. Martin seal. You're welcome here anytime, large walker. You're one of us now. Visit us, okay?
I will. Take care now, small green walkers.
So I think AC veterans might recognize this here, but what exactly is Eivor chasing down?
Yeah, so here you're seeing Eivor running down one of our tattoo images. So this is challenging the player on free run abilities, but also for fans of the series, sort of pulling at their heartstrings for some beloved features.
So are we going to be able to tattoo Eivor?
Yes, by collecting these tattoos, you actually bring them back to your settlement, and then you can customize different body parts, having different tattoos everywhere. So again, another form of expression, and it's sort of to represent that Viking culture.
Fizz, one of my favorite things when I was just out there exploring East Anglia was coming upon a house or a building and realizing that there was a chest inside, but that there was no easy way in. And in this case, I saw all the doors were barred, but I knew that because there was a chest in there must have been some way to get inside. So I went around the back and, found a way in.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually caught on to that. You're pointing at something that we wanted to work on a lot on Valhalla, where we wanted the exploration to make you feel smarter. So we played a lot with puzzle solving, so making sure that every house that you find sort of appeals to you, like it draws your attention, and then when you want to come and explore it, it's not given to you. You still have to work for it a little bit, so it'll challenge you on your observation skills, logic, just trying to find how do I get into this. So we play a lot with level design, quest design to offer challenges to players, and you basically come out of it like with a better feeling for the exploration, but you also get to see more of a story behind any of these locations, which we've crafted. So it gave us a little bit more time to sort of slow down the experience and tell a different version of a story.
A poor victim of someone's fury.
Yeah, I mean, speaking about exploration and just finding things out in the world, I was just wandering and came across this clearing and found this kind of morbid altar.
Yeah, so this is one of our bigger events that we have scattered in the world. So as Eivor explores, she can find altars like this, and by interacting with them, here it's a trap that's been set by this character named Regan. Now, there's a bigger story behind all this. There's multiple steps to it later on. So this is one of the moments. It permits us to go into a slightly more mystical realm and play with a boss fight that has more magical abilities, if you will, and basically have this awesome boss fight in the middle of the swamps. And so here the abilities that you can see Regan using are a little bit on the mystical side of things. What's happening is Eivor at the beginning of that trap is poisoned, and so she starts sort of hallucinating, seeing the world in a sort of different light and filter. And so